Alright, so I'm back. Just found out when the rotor's going to get in. Of course, it's a ridiculous amount of time. So, taking the rotor off my other Bonnie, putting on this one, and I'm pressing. But I wanted to show you why the Loctite on this is just so unnecessary. Because as the other one, these are pretty much fucking seized on the hub. So I'm gonna go with the impact wrench and try to get these off. Just do this enough to try to break them. What? You don't need to turn it, you just need to hold it, let the tool work. Hopefully you won't strip out any bolts. Also, another thing, use a little hammer, because you just want the hit going into here in the bolt. You don't want to. Bigger the hammer, bigger surface area you're going to be pounding. Got anything on this one? Oh, thank you. That's one. Thank you. That's two. There's three. There's four. I'm going to put this on tape because this is why, what you just saw, why I go with Teflon tape. So, let me get this off. I'll come back at you. So, as I press forward. Alright, back. Got the other bike squared away, the wheel back on it. Got the rotor off. I'll start lining this up. And then clean these bolts up so you can see, instead of using Loctite again and getting a welding job going on, I'm going to Teflon tape these. So you only need a couple. Just need a couple turns around. You don't need a lot. Like I said, this is going metal into metal. They're gonna lock in. They will not work themselves loose. But what's nice about this, if we ever, as you can see, I have no privacy here, housing on base. Another thing I'm looking forward to when I get back stateside. Do a couple go-arounds on these, you don't need a whole lot. So big fan of Teflon. Never used it a lot till I came in the military. Used it working in liquid oxygen and working parts in to hold locks. You can't use lock-tite because that's a chemical. Chemical gets in to the product and that contaminates product. Considering that liquid oxygen has to be 99.9% pure for pilots to breathe, you gotta use other things for your fasteners, and you use Teflon. And I learned that Teflon is awesome. And the cool thing about Teflon is you get the same aspect of lock-tite, but it's not going to seize on you. It's Teflon. So, just wish other places would catch on to that. Okay, these bolts are manual, 22 Newton meters. For all you high-tech pros out there that know exactly what 22 meters is at your wrist, good on you. You're a stud. I'm using impact wrenches. And if you ever go to take these off, or one day you'll have to, if for no other reason you want to clean, trust me. Get one of these things, because there's gonna be a weld job that has been done right underneath your butt as you've been riding your bike, because they doused this into lock-tite. Hinckley. So get this going. Newton meters going on, because unlike all the other super legend pro mechanics on the internet, my arm just ain't calibrated that tight. Well, that's why I pay money and go out and buy this. One step closer. That was a major hurdle today. Did not know I'd be taking off the wheel and having a solid crack right through my rotor. And also, inspecting the pad showed that I was riding on it like that. So, cool deal for me doing my own job though, because I'll look at it, legalize. Okay, now all my parts are clean. So I got my axle, my two spacers, washer, the nut. So they've already been cleaned up. Now I'm going to go through and red grease coat them, and then I'm going to get the wheel back on this bike and get going.